Okay, well here we are again, and I'm filming with the Canon EOS M50, and we all know how everything turned out with my last photo shoot, in which I had all kinds of settings wrong. I accidentally had the manual focus on while I was filming, so that can cause problems. In addition, if you're going to be filming outside, you're going to want to invest in a wide variety of different types of filters. And so the one that I have, or I have 2 or 3, and they're not dark enough, and so it still lets in a lot of light. So for today, I have the camera set up on a tripod. The lighting isn't really the greatest. I don't have professional grade lighting, but I do have lighting coming in from the window, so I have some natural daylight. It's causing a little glare on the poster, and then I have a light set up over here with a white fluorescent light. So I'm not using the 4 HD. I'm just using regular HD 24 frames per second, and I have the autofocus on. It's not face tracking. I left the servo on though. One vlogger turns the servo off, and he does that with an app, and so I don't have that app, and I'm not a big app-ish guy. I suppose I will be the more I get involved with this type of work. So I have, at 24 frames per second, I do have the shutter speed set at double the amount, which is 1/50, and so that was one of the rules that I learned. The aperture is as low as it can possibly be for the lighting setting that it's in. Right now it's reading 4.5. It should be lower. I'm thinking about investing in another lens. We'll see what happens as time goes by. The ISO is set on auto, and it's on auto white balance. So, and I'm still, like I said, I'm still using the kit lens. And I'm wondering about the quality of what it is that I'm recording now. What I'm noticing is that when I look at the footage, my face looks pretty clear, and it's better than the Sony camcorder that I was using for the most part, though I have to tell you that that Sony camcorder, when I used it in a room that had a gigantic bay window, and I would use that gigantic bay window with natural daylight, and I would stand, you know, and have all that light facing me, and then have the camera like at the window looking at me, and those images were pretty clear, but they weren't 4K. I know I haven't started using 4K yet, but I want to utilize this camera because I know down the road this camera is going to offer more versatility and options as far as filming is concerned. So even though the camcorder did work pretty well, I'm trying to, you know, advance the skill set that I currently have, which is virtually nothing, by the way. But I will tell you, from the last video, I have learned an immense amount, and I can only hope that it, you know, it gets better from here. That I don't really want in my video, for some reason, there's something that called depth of field, and that's where the images look really good right where the focal point is, and then everything else in the background is kind of blurry. I don't really want that because I'm a storyteller, and so the things that happen in the background are just as important to me as what I'm focusing on, because they're a part of the story and I want to see what's going on. So I need to learn how to do that. But one thing I do know is that when I was filming, and in that last video you're going to see footage where it's jittery like that, and guess what? Not only did I have the manual focus on, but I had the aperture set like really high, and you don't really want that aperture high when you're filming. You want it low. But I was thinking that if I had it a little higher than what it was, then I would have images in focus where the focal point is, and then I would have images in focus that are behind that. But there's settings that say film in landscape, film in this mode, film in that mode. So I've only had this camera for maybe 2 weeks at the most, and it's intimidating. So we're just gonna have to keep working on it. Now for this particular shoot, I spent probably about 2 hours setting up my room so that I could get the shots, since I don't have a gigantic house where I can just be elaborate and set up all kinds of lights and everything. I'm one of those, I'm basically one of those people that, I don't have money, so everything I do is pretty much improvised, and I do the best with what I have. But I do hope to continue in what I'm doing, and I certainly hope that the Canon EOS M50 pays off in the long run, and I'm sure it will. So that's the way things are going today.